What I want to do now is really show you the cool part about this whole thing is the app that we have will integrate right into the handle, and you can use the features right here if you wanted to start and stop your record, or if you want to take a picture, if you want to focus, or if you want to zoom. You can do all that right from the handle. This is a really cool thing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. As we get into the app here, it's going to ask you what gimbal you want to connect to. So we're going to click on connected device. I'm going to already have that one selected, highlight that. It's going to go right to the camera. So right away when you open this up, your record button is going to work right down here on your handle. You can turn it on and off. You can zoom in by clicking the toggle up. You can zoom out by clicking the toggle down. You are only digitally zooming in. This is not your camera's not actually zooming in. On the 7 Plus, I think it's using both cameras, so it is kind of getting a higher quality zoom. On the toggle here, if we hold that up, you'll see it's going to switch my mode. So now I'm in photo mode. So it kind of switched right up here. You can see that. So now if I click the button, it's going to take a picture. And if I hold it up again, it's going to switch me back to video mode. So you can see it just changed that, and now we're back in video mode. If I hold it down, it's going to switch my camera to my front facing camera, so it'll flip the cameras. So it does the same thing as this little button right here. I'm not going to do that because I don't want you to see my ugly camera setup. So and then if you want to view the pictures that you've taken, you can go right into here, see your photos, go back. And at the end of the day, when you're done and you've actually taken all your videos and photos and you want to have them go into your photos, you just select them and then you click the little icon down here, and that's going to export everything into your photos on your phone. So I don't want to do that. I want to go cancel. I'm going to go back. So this is where you're going to really find some of your advanced modes that you're going to use a lot. So slow motion is always really cool. You can't go wrong there. Time lapse, and then the motion time lapse is really, really cool. So if I want to go ahead and take a picture of where I want it to start, and then I move the camera to wherever I want it to end, and I take a picture there, and then I can go into next. Now it's going to ask me how many photos would I like taken per second. And then how long do I want this time to last? So I've got 1 photo per second for 30 seconds. It's going to be 1 frame a second more or less. So the duration of my video is only going to be 1 second. I can change this obviously. So I can say I want 5 photos a second. And now I can say I want that to last for 5 minutes. And so I'm going to have a 2-second video that will be over the time period of 5 minutes at 5 frames a second. So I can move this. Let's say that we want 1 frame a second and we're going to do it for 5 minutes. Now I've created a 10-second video. So before you even get started, you get all of this information. It's really cool. And then when you say start, so it'll start in the position that you started it and it'll end in the position that you ended it. And it's going to make that sweep over that period of time. Getting into this, you got your resolution. So are we shooting HD? Are we shooting 4K? How many frames a second? What do you want your pictures to look like? How big of a photo are we taking? This stuff is really advanced and cool. You can do manual white balance if you want to. And then the big thing is in the manual mode, if you go to on, what you're going to see is when you come back out here, you're going to have this little slider down here. So you can go in here and adjust all of these, autofocus, tight and wide, which is basically going to allow you to zoom, ISO, your shutter. So very advanced features on that. Probably most of the time you're going to want to head and just put it in the auto mode. So we're going to turn the manual mode off, let the camera do all the work. And whether you want your flash or if you want a grid, you can choose that you have a grid so you can help frame. I usually don't have that on. And then we can get into scene modes. And so this is a really good way to capture something that's moving really fast. Make sure you're in motion. So if you're filming a skateboarder or your kid on a bike or you're chasing your dog, the motion is basically going to make the camera or the gimbal react quicker so that you keep your subject in the shot. If you want something that's going to act really smooth and buttery, so as you're moving, it's actually going to smooth out your shots a little bit more. The walking mode is a little bit better. You can go in and set up custom modes where you can adjust all of your values and you can really fine tune this. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to get into that. You can kind of play with that on your own, and the remote control. So let's say you had another phone and you were using this phone to record and you wanted to Bluetooth. You can only Bluetooth one phone at a time to the gimbal. So this one would have to be operating just off of the camera on the phone. But you could actually choose to hook it up to another phone, and with that you can use this toggle to go through your settings, and you can adjust all your settings this way going through here, and you can stop, start, record, all that fun stuff right from the app. So pretty cool. Then we've got some different video profiles. So if you want to change the color or the feel of your video, you can go through and find something that you like. I really like this black and white one. It's pretty cool. And if you want to just change that, put it back to original, and that's going to put it back to where we started here. Okay, and then the best thing for last. This thing is super cool. So this is your little target, and I'm going to show you a video on how this works real quick. But for now, let's just say that we want to capture this box. We're going to draw a little square around it by just dragging our finger, and then the camera is going to automatically try to keep that in the center and track that object. So if I was to draw an object around this part of the set right here, you could see it's going to try to track that part of the set. So pretty neat. If you want to stop it, you just hit this little white thing again. You're back in action. You got full control with your joystick again. And when you're ready to frame up your dog or frame up your friend, or if you're doing a cooking show or something and you want to be in frame all the time and have it follow you around, it's a really great way to do it. So let's go into the photo mode really quick. I'm going to go ahead and hold the toggle up. It's going to switch us into photo mode. You can also do it by touching your screen if you want to. And then we're going to go ahead and go into the photo button here. And this is really cool because there are some really neat features in here. You can actually do timers. So you have a timer here that will set it for 2 seconds. You got one for 5 seconds and one for 10 seconds. You got your HDR. Then you've got panoramic and you've got long exposure. So you can do some cool night shots where you get the streaks of the lights. These are kind of our favorite right here, is getting into the panoramics. You've got a 180, which is going to do a kind of a nice little sweep through, and it's going to stitch 180 degree photos together. They're going to be really high quality because it's using the whole chip from your camera for each one of the photos. You got a 330 degree, so that's going to go almost all the way around. And then this is my favorite by far, the 3x3. Basically, it's going to take 9 photos and make them into a very large square photo, and they turn out just beautiful. Long exposure, getting into that. You basically have motion, or you have kind of a stop motion. You can play with these at night. They're really, really cool if you want to get some cool traffic lights and things like that. So really cool features. There's not much different in here in the photo mode than there was in the video mode, other than these profiles here. So check these out. You're going to really like playing with that, I think.